Hello, and welcome back to the end of week 12. How crazy is that to say? Like, I still remember when we were on our first call and it was like, welcome to week 1. And so we are wrapping up 12 weeks tonight. It is our final meeting of phase 1. And so let's go ahead and hop on the scales and see how you guys did in your final week. And several of you made declarations last week of how you were going to finish. And let's see if you stuck to that.
Brent, 184.6.
Emily, 136.4.
Iris Alvarado.
Nakia, 334.6.
Nisha.
Amber, 161.6.
Nathan Thomas, 233.6.
188.2.
So let's go ahead and jump into I have some standings here. I have our final standings here. In 9th place, we'll get to that in a little bit. We're going to put these aside. We're going to get to those in a little bit.
I knew that was going to happen.
What?
I knew that was going to happen because I watched the last season today. Well, a few last seasons.
Yes.
But it was still a good surprise.
We're going to get to that. So, yeah, we're going to get to that. So before we get to the final standings, I just want to congratulate all of you on making it through the phase 1, the first phase, your first 12 weeks. We are about to cross into the halfway point in the program. And yeah, so the cool thing is we're halfway. So that first half went fast. I think the second half, I think it goes even faster than the first half does. But here's the thing, and here's the thing that we're going to look at tonight. We're going to talk about tonight. Tonight's really going to be about you. It's going to be about how far you've come. It's going to be about recognizing some of the shifts that you've made, some of the changes that you've made. Because listen, so often it's really easy to look at where we're at and also where we're not. It's so easy to look at, where we want to be. And it's so easy to figure out, I thought I'd be here. I thought I'd be there. But here's what I know. Here's what I know. Here's what I know. Here's what I know. You might not be where you want to be yet, but you're not where you were. You're not where you were. If you look at how far you've come in 12 short weeks, how much you've changed. Even the way you're talking, the way you're thinking, the actions that you're doing. The old you most certainly would have judged some of the things the new you is doing, which is a good thing. I look so often, I'm like, man, Fluffy Carmen would so be judging me right now, but that's a good thing. And if you look at all the changes you've made, that is a good thing because change is the catalyst. Change is the catalyst for change. And so we are going to be going through. So instead of one question for you guys tonight, you are going to have five questions. And we're going to, Amber's like 5. Holy cow. What the heck? And so tonight, it's not all about me talking. Tonight, it's about y'all talking. You guys, it's going to be on you, not on me. So, and they're not real long form questions, they're short form questions. And so the very first question is going to be, how much weight did you lose in the last 12 weeks?
I'm Brad and I lost 42.6 pounds in the last 12 weeks.
Hi, this is Iris Alvarado, and I lost 27.3 pounds in 12 weeks. Yes, 12 weeks, girl.
Hi, I'm Bev, and I lost 19.6 pounds in 12 weeks.
Hello, I'm Scholar and I've lost 12.2 pounds in 12 weeks.
Hello, I'm ATN Thomas and I lost 24.5 pounds in 12 weeks.
I'm Emily and I lost 21 pounds in the last 12 weeks.
I'm Nisha and I lost 31 pounds in the last 12 weeks.
Hello, my name is Nakia Dollar, and in the last 12 weeks, I have released 21.6 pounds.
I am Amber. I've lost 8 pounds in the last 12 weeks.
Our next question is, what is your most memorable quote from the season? What was the one thing that was said that stuck with you? It could be from me, it could be from a cast member. What was your most memorable soundbite from the season that you replay in your head over and over and over again? You hear it everywhere you go. What's your most memorable soundbite from season 9?
There's so many things that have been said that just kind of pop up at the right moment. The one that, I don't know if we said it during the season, but actually during the 21-day fix program, it was you can't out-train a bad diet. So that's what I constantly fall back on. From the group here, there's so much encouragement that goes on. I don't know if it's a single quote. It's the fact that when someone's struggling, everybody else is jumping on with hints, ideas, help, and all that. So those are the two things. There's just the constant encouragement and that you can't out-train a bad diet.
For me, it's I think it varies in the week and the days. But one of them is that what you say, that nobody plans to fail, they just fail to plan. So that is one of the biggest ones for me, because I've been struggling a lot with, particularly with planning. And now that I've been planning, that one is a big one. And then another one would be the one I'm saying recently, that I refuse to put a 0 at the end of my sheet. And you claim it, you say it, and you do it. So those are probably the two big ones.
Mine would be consistency gets results. Stay consistent and stick to the plan, and you will get results. So that's what I've been playing in mine. So.
Okay. For me, mine, I laugh all the time. Every time I see food, I always remember Carmen says that's future poop. So whenever I'm out there and I see food, I always laugh at myself because I always remember that. But I think the most one, I've been very consistent working out with Autumn, both in the 21-day fix and now I'm doing the 80-day obsession. But she keeps on saying it's okay to be in the comfort zone, but nothing grows there. So I'm consistently reminding myself of that. If I feel lazy, like maybe I don't want to drink my water or I don't want to make the right choices in my food, I remember it's okay, I can be in this comfort zone, but I'm not gonna grow. So that's the one that keeps me pushing.
For me, it would be take your scale with you, because the scale gives you information. So my scale and I are becoming one. We travel quite a bit together, and it's giving me information. And some days I hop on other scales just to see, is it giving me the same information as I move around in my day. But yes, the scale gives you information.
Mine is also future poop. I think I want to phase in I refuse to put a 0 on that sheet. I like that one. Those are both good.
Mine is it's just poop. That has gotten me past eating after hours and staying out the fridge and bypassing all of my cravings. So that's been my number one.
My favorite quote of the season is from Iris. Every time I make a good choice that was hard, I say, I didn't dibble dabble, and it makes me smile instead of be sad.
Me, My quote for the season is that this is not a diet, this is a lifestyle change. Diets are something that you do for a short period of time, at least in that thought process. What we're doing is we are retraining ourselves for better habits, for a lifetime of better health and fitness.
So your third question, how have you surprised yourself during this season? Like, where have you realized that, you know what, like maybe it's I'm stronger than I thought I was, or maybe it's easier than I thought it was going to be, but how have you surprised yourself during this season? What have you realized about yourself and how have you surprised yourself?
I think the biggest surprise for me was that I actually could get down to a weight goal that I thought was unattainable. I had convinced myself there was no way I could get back down to the weight I was when I was teaching martial arts, when I was training in it. And now I realize that that was just me being an idiot. So, you know, I convinced myself with stuff because I didn't want to follow a good diet. I liked having the junk food in the easy way. And by doing just a little change and paying attention to the diet, I was able to achieve stuff that I've been trying to do for years. So it actually surprised me that it was actually me that convinced myself this was not attainable. It wasn't a reality.
To me, two of the biggest ones that I know that have been extremely surprising to me is that I know how to make, I'm a chef and I know how to make healthy food, but I just mix and match very wrong. Well, I used to mix and match very wrong. That's one of them. And of course, that you can eat delicious and nutritious and at the same time. It doesn't have to be something unhealthy. So that one is a big one. And then the other one is that we can do hard things. We can actually do hard things. Right now, I'm sure everybody in the group has done hard things and they're not hard anymore. We have harder things to work on. So we passed that. I remember doing my workouts and crying, just bawling. And never in my life I thought that 30 minutes of workout a day and eating healthy was going to give me these kind of results. So those are the biggest ones for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say eating healthy has been a big change for me. I never thought I would enjoy vegetables and enjoy salads and the good food. So healthy doesn't mean awful food. It means energetic food and good food. And the other thing is I love to work out. I can do burpees. So that is a celebration that I can actually work out for 30 minutes. And sometimes I even go longer because I enjoy it. And it really makes me feel a lot better. So that's another one.
For me, what has surprised me the most is that I can actually be healthy and enjoy my pregnancy. When I found out I'm pregnant and I went to the doctor, by that time I was, I think, 230 pounds. And so the doctor told me, of course, I'm overweight. And the expectation by the time I'm giving birth in November, the doctor just told me they don't want me to be over 260. That's the mark we were fighting for. And when you ask that question, for me to sit here when I'm almost halfway and to think I'm like 42 pounds away from what the doctor had said. I was telling Iris the other day, nowadays I don't want to walk with people because I feel they're pulling me behind because I'm becoming so fast in walking and I'm pregnant and they're not. So the fact that I can actually be healthy and have no symptoms and actually enjoy my pregnancy, this is not something I had foreseen at the start of my pregnancy, which was really rough. So that's the thing that has really, really surprised me the most.
A couple things that really surprised me. One, I enjoy working out. Zumba was always my thing. And then as I moved around the country, I'd fall in and out of Zumba instructors. So I found a boot camp here, which I absolutely love, but the 5:15 a.m. was not working for my schedule anymore because I was keeping late nights. So working out virtually again, although I miss people in workouts, I do enjoy it. And I find my body misses it when I don't work out. So when I take that rest day, my body absolutely misses that. So that makes a big difference for me. So enjoying getting my workouts back going and being able to plan accordingly, and just my energy level. My days are long like many of yours, and so my energy is completely different when I'm eating what I need to in this lifestyle change, and staying on plan. So just those surprising things in that space of putting the workout back into play.
The biggest surprise for me was that I could actually drink water at all, because I don't know if you've ever met anyone that was 54 years old and had never drank water except the ice in their Coke. That was me, right, Brett? My son, my daughter, they would all cry and say, "Mom, you're gonna die." But anyway, I drink water now, and I do feel special every day that I drink water. I feel special and blessed and a little superior to my old self. So thank you, all of you, and especially Nakia, for the "where are you at?"
So I cannot believe that I was actually able to lose weight pregnant. I assumed that I would probably maintain weight. So I couldn't believe that I actually lost weight pregnant. And not only did I lose the weight, but I was able to follow a healthy eating plan. So I didn't have to cut out any food groups, things of that nature. And I can't believe a 30-minute workout like in your living room can make you sweat that hard. I never knew that. I always felt like I had to go the extreme to see results, but you don't. So that was amazing for me.
What has surprised me the most is that I can be vulnerable and let people into my life. So thank you all for being a safe space.
Love that for you, Amber. Man, I don't know that because this is not my first rodeo with the biggest transformation. I think what looks like a welcome reminder is that you're not a failure if you didn't reach your goal the first time. You're only a failure if you quit. And the fact that I can continue to show up and learn and get better and fight the battle, the mental battle, the mindset battle to keep doing the next right thing, and really, really stay committed to the lifestyle change and not treating this like a diet.
All right. Your next question. What was one thing that was easier than you thought it was going to be? What's one thing that you thought was going to be really hard for you, but it turned out to be easy?
I think actually cooking the healthy foods was easier than I thought it would be, because you get so stuck in a rut of the kind of things you like to make, and it always has something bad in it. But you don't need a quarter cup of oil to cook meats and vegetables. You don't need a lot of the stuff that was really making it not healthy. And you don't need to eat the amounts that you think of vegetables to stay full. It's not a lot, but it was easier to follow that container program than I thought, and the food was really, really good. So I thought that would be the hardest part, would be sticking to that.
To me, one of the hardest part was to drink water, because I was kind of like Emily. I would only drink water when I was like extremely thirsty. But even that, I would drink water and then a Coke. So drinking water would definitely be even though I have not winged it yet, but I've came to the point where I crave water. And I've left out the sodas ever since we started the program. I haven't even tasted anything. I don't like diet sodas. So what I replaced it was that my sodas is with every now and then, or sometimes almost every day, with one sparkling water. So I think water was a big one, and the exercise. The exercise, like I said, I was just bawling the first week, and now I actually look forward to it, especially with that T25. That it has me hooked on that T25. So those were.
Yes, for me, I think eating the vegetables and like the portions, the containers, I thought I would be starving through this program. I honestly thought I needed more food, and sometimes it's even hard getting the food in because we're told to get our containers in and it's filling, and it's, yeah, I'm satisfied. So that was probably the biggest thing that I could not believe that I could do, because you're satisfied with all the containers of food that you are to eat in the program.
For me, what was easier for me that surprised me is that I can be able to work out in my state. I remember the first week, even following the program, I was not giving it my all because I thought I was hurting my baby. But I'm just surprised that I was able to work out. And then being a sweet tooth, I thought being pregnant, it's just the perfect opportunity and the perfect excuse for me to try out all the cakes and all the chocolates. But I'm surprised in the program, I've not craved cakes or chocolate, and I've not eaten any cakes or chocolate since May 13th. So that was really easy for me and quite a surprise.
For me, it would have to be the carbs. Still been figuring them out, but not as bad as I thought it would be. But it's a matter of still trying to balance them. So it's definitely been easier than I thought it might be, going back into it after not having eaten carbs in many years, when I was doing what I was supposed to. So definitely figuring that out. And then just like Scholar, the sweets, I have a big sweet tooth. It was nothing for me to go and get cupcakes and have half a cupcake for lunch and half a cupcake for dinner, and then the other half of the other cupcake for lunch and for dinner. And I drive all over town going to get the best cupcakes. So I have not had any sweets. My Shakeology has become my sweets. So I try and time that to where I need a sweet burst at some point, but I have intentionally stayed away, even with my treat. I have intentionally stayed away from sweets because I know that's my slippery slope.
For me, I thought eating out was going to be really hard. But we have proven you can go to a greasy pub because your kid wants macaroni and cheese and a steak, and you can weed out a wedge salad. They eat a lot of those in Ohio. And there are even restaurants that don't have anything unhealthy. So, and then the restaurants in between, they always had a really nice salad. So it just didn't feel like we were deprived at all. And the eating out experience wasn't just me drinking water and kicking around a Brussels sprout. So it's fun.
So what was easier for me to cut out was soda and I would say chips. That was the easiest for me. I just replaced the soda with sparkling water. And then after I carried on for a while, now I only drink the water. I don't even really need the sparkling water anymore. And then the chips, I replaced that with the protein bars. So now I crave the protein bars or a Shakeology, and I'll just like add fruit to it. I crave that. So that was the easiest, and I couldn't believe that.
The thing that was easier for me than I expected were 5:30 in the morning workouts. I've always been an early riser, but I've used that time to binge watch Netflix, and now it's been replaced by exercising, and I look forward to it. I kind of miss it on my rest days.
For me, the easy thing is the water. Like I have before, I would have different jugs, and then my husband saw me like refilling out of a jug, and he put together this contraption. It looked like a kid's science experiment, but it was how he chose to show his support for me. And then my girls upgraded me to this gallon jug that I toted around with me everywhere. And I get that at least a gallon in. Sometimes I've gotten as much as 2 gallons in a day.
So I want to ask you this question because, you know, so often, like this is something that I will do. Like I will go back and talk to my former self, right? Because there's still bits and pieces, even though I'm changing those habits, they're still like they will come back in a minute. And I always make the joke that, you know, there's still a fluffy girl inside of here and I have to keep her on a tight leash because she still tries to get out. Like I will still always have to watch for that old behavior, right? Because the old behavior, it still comes knocking. Once you have that chink in your armor, and for a lot of us, this has been a weakness we have had. Like for a lot of you, if I look at your personal and professional life, you've had so many successes, so many places you've overcome. But for so many of us, this has been the thing that we just couldn't get a handle on. We just couldn't get it under control. It controlled us. And so I think it's so important to remember that that person's still in there and to never take it for granted that I've got this covered, I've got this dialed, I've got this down. So I want you, if you could go back and give your 18-year-old self one piece of advice, what would that be, knowing what you know now?
Actually, I would probably, the biggest advice would be you can't do all this by yourself. You need a support network. You need friends that you can open up to, because I know like you guys probably think I'm a big extrovert. I got to be around lots of people all the time. So that would be I think that was the biggest thing, having a support system that can remind you where you're headed when you're struggling, and you don't need to push through it by yourself. And don't count on yourself all the time. Count on other people to help you too. And life is so much easier when you have a support system.
To me, if I was 18, I would say to myself to continue working out, drinking water, and eat healthy. Those are the 3 keys for everything. So those would be it. Drink water, eat healthy, and exercise.
If I could go back and speak to myself when I was 18, I would probably tell myself, don't give up, keep going. I always have that T25 going in through my head. Keep it going. Don't give up. So I strongly would keep repeating that to myself. And I would tell my 18-year-old, like, don't give up. Just keep going. Even if I'm not perfect, keep going.
For me, if I go back to my 18-year-old, I'll just tell myself to make 2 choices. It's either results or excuses, and I can't have both. So especially in my weight loss journey, there's always an excuse. I'm in school or I've broken my foot or something, but the times I'm not able to work out, I would have eaten healthy, which I did not. So I would have told myself, choose results over excuses over and over.
ATN, don't move to the south and gain your freshman 15 because you go to Chicken Wednesday at the HBCU and you go to Fish Friday, and stay active so that you can shed all of those pounds. And don't wait till you get online to try and shed those pounds. Stay away from Chicken Wednesday.
That is awesome. I was 18 around the invention of the Big Gulp. They didn't have those before. People thought they were the devil incarnate, and they're right. So I would say don't drink big gulps, and don't stop working out, because I did jazzercise because that was really hip when I was 18. I wish I never would have stopped exercising. And yeah, that's what I would tell her.
I would tell myself to stay away from the processed foods. That was my problem at 18, the processed foods and the drive-throughs. And do what's challenging, whatever route is the most challenging, that's gonna get you to your goals. So I would have started cooking way back then at 18.
I would tell my 18-year-old self to take chances and say yes way more than you say no.
Nice. I like that, Amber. I would probably say, I've had a chance to talk to my 18-year-old self, which, like, low key, I almost do because I've got 17-year-old twins right now. So when I think about talking to my 18-year-old self, I think about saying the things that I say to them, and it is never work harder on yourself than you do anything else. That everything that you invest in to grow as a person will make your life bigger, faster, and explode your life and beyond what you can even imagine right now. It is so much, there's so much more to life than just these little things or what have you, and you are worth all the effort and the energy to nourish your body so that you are the best version of yourself, for not just for anyone else, but for you, just for you.
What would you say to someone who is struggling with their weight, who's struggling, who's where you were 14 weeks ago, 16 weeks ago? What would you say to that person? Man, woman, doesn't matter the age. What would you say?
I would probably tell them a couple things. One, when your wife tells you that you found a really good program and your daughter says, really good program, listen to them. Because I would honestly have never done this without them. I would have probably never even seen it. And yet it's been probably the best thing that's happened to me. So I would tell them, one, find a program, but find it with a friend. If you're struggling, someone else you know is struggling too. And if you can do it together, then you can succeed. If you keep trying the same patterns you've been doing, you'll follow the same pattern, and you'll find a reason to give up or quit or make an excuse why this one doesn't work for you. And then the other thing I would tell them is quit calling it a diet. You're not dieting. You need to find a program that changes the way you live your life in a positive way. Because the first three letters of diet are die. And you're not doing that. This is about living, and this is about living healthy and living to your fullest. So find the person you're going to do it with. And if you're lucky enough to have the spouse that I have, your best friend is the one you do it with. And then change your attitude about diets. Like, I don't call it a cheat. It's not a cheat. It's part of my plan. You have to change that mentality about it also, and you can succeed. It's in the head. It's the failures between the fingertips and the ears. So that's what I would tell them.
To me, I've had a lot of people actually ask me, and then they fall back when they know they have to buy things or waste money. And I'm like, put your money where your mouth is. You waste a lot of money everywhere else. You buy or you eat out a lot, and that money can easily be used for eating whatever you want, but it's just within the plan. And you can literally eat whatever you want within the plan. Exercise, again, the same ones: exercise, drink water, and eat healthy. That's me.
First of all, I would probably tell them, find Carmen O'Quinn. You have to join her program. She's changed my life completely. And she doesn't teach you to diet. She sets you up for a lifestyle of change. And so I'm very appreciative, and I'm thankful that I was a part of this program, and I would recommend it to anybody. So that would be mine. Don't set yourself up for failure. Start with Carmen O'Quinn's program, The Biggest Transformation, because it's transformed my life. Thanks.
For me, I would first congratulate them. The fact that they are acknowledging they are struggling and they are not denial. I've come to believe that the things we deny keep us blind. And so I would just let them know it's a good thing that they're acknowledging, and actually that's the first step. And then the second thing is ask for help. It's really hard when you are an independent person to ask for help, but go out there. Even if you don't know anyone, go to YouTube and you might find Carmen interviewing Danielle, and you'll be able to reach out. So congratulations for the acknowledgement, and ask for help. It's always there.
I would tell them to trust the process and take one day at a time. That it definitely is not a sprint, it is a marathon as you make a lifestyle change. And so you will fall down, but it's important to get back up and start again. So get to where you don't have the zeros on your page. But if you have them and you don't have a sequential set of numbers, then just learn from the information on the scale and start again.
We had the unique opportunity of our son's girlfriend's mom hung out with us this last week, and she knew that we were doing this program, and she had just taken her daughter to Europe and probably gained 20 pounds, eating and eating and eating, and kept saying, "Oh, I feel awful. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do?" And I told her she should watch The Biggest Transformation. And then I said, this is called the 21-day fix. It's all online and it's 30 minutes a day. And then when we would order lunch, I would say, see, we can have healthy fat. I just showed her exactly how much food we could eat without starving. So I kind of really pumped up the 21-day fix. And I've told a lot of people about it, but I always say, watch The Biggest Transformation first, and then just keep my fingers crossed that they would apply. So
I would always tell someone, because I get asked now, but what I say is make it a lifestyle change. Like, don't make it a diet. And if you truly want to invest in yourself, then join The Biggest Transformation. Like, just put the money up, like Ira said, put the money up, because you're gonna hold yourself accountable. And I feel like it just shows you're serious. And I can only speak on what has helped me. No other diets have not helped me. They will last 3 days max. And here we are 12 weeks in, and I'm excited to keep going like for the rest of my life. So I would say make it a lifestyle change, and definitely join The Biggest Transformation with Carmen.
I would say it's intimidating, but it's easier with a friend. Let's try it together.
Absolutely. I definitely don't go it alone. Like, so much of being overweight is emotional. It's not because of lack of knowledge or information that you haven't gotten into your right size body, that in order to become the best version of yourself, sometimes you need to submit to a group and find a group of people who are focused on living a healthy lifestyle, not starving or fads or anything unhealthy. Something that Carmen has said numerous times, like, how you lose it is how you'll keep it off. And in business, you think you don't want to start something, you don't want to continue. And the same thing goes with our bodies, right? However we choose to fuel our body, if that's how we lose it, that's how we'll keep it off. And if we don't do something sustainable to release the weight, then when we're done, right? But that's diet culture talking. When you're done with the diet, everything that you let go comes right back on because you end up holding on to the old habit. So commit to the process of changing your habits, your thought processes, and get into a group of people, because you rock with who you flock with.
So good. So good. And, you know, so often, like, I loved all the answers, all so different. And it's so reminding yourself, right? It's getting to a place where you remind yourself why you started the program, and why you don't ever want to go back. So often I'll remind myself of the pain points, the way I felt physically, the way my confidence was, the way I felt about myself, the way, you know, all the areas that my weight affected me, the stress. You know, like yesterday at the airport, we were coming back from Houston, Texas, and we rolled up into the airport, and we were trying to get an early flight because we finished up with business early, and we did. And before, I would have had the stress, or maybe I wouldn't have wanted to get a last minute at the gate change because I wouldn't have been able to control where I was sitting. And the biggest worry is that I would end up in a middle seat at, you know, my size, and I would be so uncomfortable, so self-conscious. And so I made so many decisions based around my weight. And now it's not even a consideration. I don't even have to consider it. Even things like going to the spa, I was so nervous that, you know, if I went to a spa with somebody, the robe wouldn't fit, or I was at the pool, it was being self-conscious about the pool towels fitting, just like all the areas that I was self-conscious because of my weight. And when you take that away, you're able to focus on just being you. You're able to focus on being in the moment, enjoying life. You don't have this weight thing constantly as a monkey on your back. And so, a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. But before we do that, let's go ahead and go through our standings and see where you ended up in the stack. Who is actually the winner of season 9, phase 1 of the biggest transformation. And so in 9th place, down 8 pounds, 4.72%, almost 5% of her body completely gone, Amber. In 8th place, down 12.2 pounds, 5.53%, Scholar. In 7th place, down 21.6 pounds, 6.06%, Nakia. In 6th place, down 19.6 pounds, 9.39%, Bev. In 5th place, down 24.5 pounds, 9.51%, ATN. In 4th place, down 27.3 pounds, 11.53%, Iris. 11.53%. That is crazy. In 3rd place, down 21.2 pounds, 13.45%, Emily. In 2nd place, down 31 pounds, 14.22%, going through the program pregnant, having a baby, doing all the things, even while being in the hospital. But Nisha, I remember at the very beginning, and even before you had the baby, you've been steadily climbing the charts. And to wind up in second place when you started at the bottom, down 14.22%, Nisha, congratulations. Which means in first place, down 42.6 pounds in 12 weeks, the winner of season 8, 18.75%, Brett. I feel like I need a confetti popper, some air horns. Brett, congratulations. When you started this thing, did you have any idea 12 short weeks ago that you would be sitting here down just shy of 43 freaking pounds?
No, I thought 10 pounds and it'll be just like every other program. And it wasn't until the third week I was like, holy crap. Like there are things in here that no other program talks about. And by the fourth week, I think Nakia's the one that said, we got to catch up to that guy. I was like, oh, game on now.
Started at 227.2 pounds. And this morning you weighed in at less than 185.
I broke my initial goal. So my initial goal was too high.
That your initial goal was like for the first 6 months, not the first half of the program.
Yeah,
When's the last time you weighed in at 184 pounds?
God, I think it was before I met Emily. So 25 years ago.
And it's so funny because sometimes we don't realize where our biggest blessings can come from. And I really believe having our health back, we underestimate what a blessing that is, not only for us, but our family, our legacy. Like literally, we are building our legacy. We are building like what we're going to be known for, because all of us have an end date coming at some point. We have an expiration date at some point where we are leaving this planet as we know it, right? Like our Earth suit, we are no longer going to be in it. And right now we're building that legacy. Like, what are we going to be remembered for? What are we going to be known for? What type of mother? What type of grandparent? What type of, like, all of it. And so often we just get caught up in the rat race, and we give up and we give in. And Brett, it's just been so cool to watch you really rise to the occasion and come out of your shell and embrace this uncomfortable, all other women cast thing, the only man, and just to really lead from the front the entire time. And I have no doubt that you have no intention of slowing down in the second phase. And if any of these chicks want to get ahead of you, they better bring it.